Tuesday morning, 7:14 a.m. Somewhere in Middle America, a woman opens her laptop at her kitchen table. She'll earn $5,200 this month. She doesn't write a single line of code, and here's the part that matters. 2 years ago, what she sells cost $15,000 from an agency. Today, it costs $3,000. That collapse, not chatbots, not AI hype, that specific price collapse is the entire reason non-coders can run real businesses right now. And I'm going to walk you through her Tuesday, hour by hour, so you can see yours inside it. You've seen the thumbnails, 10,000 a month, quit your job, agencies, founders, people who, if you're honest, don't really look like you, and maybe that's why, after 3 months of watching, you still haven't started. So, today isn't a pitch. It's a real hour-by-hour day of a non-coder at $5,200 a month using Claude Code Skills. 3 clients, about 40 minutes of real work per client per month, and a specific 4-number framework that, by the end of this video, lets you pick your vertical and your first outreach target this week. One thing before the alarm goes off, the reason this Tuesday works in April 2026 is a specific price collapse in one specific market. We'll get to it around minute 8, because without understanding that collapse, you'll keep trying to sell the wrong thing to the wrong people for too much money. 7:14 a.m. The laptop's open. She's drinking coffee from a mug her daughter made in 2nd grade. First thing she does is open a file on her desktop called dashboard.md. It isn't an app, it's a plain English file she wrote 4 months ago. Inside are 3 small automated reports from last night, one for each of her 3 clients. Client 1 is a small real estate brokerage in the next town over. 2 agents, 20 listings. Her skill, which she wrote in plain English, reads their new inbound leads overnight and sorts them by likelihood to buy in the next 90 days. Last night, it processed 41 leads. 8 got flagged as hot. She copies the list, emails it, 30 seconds of work. The brokerage pays her $600 a month. Client 2 is a small bookkeeping firm with 3 partners. Her skill reads their invoice aging reports and writes polite AR reminder emails for invoices more than 30 days overdue. Last night, it drafted 23 emails. Each one matched to the client's tone. She reads them at 7:15, approves 21, edits 2, sends 4 minutes. The bookkeeping firm pays her $400 a month. Client 3 is a chiropractic practice. Her skill watches their appointment calendar and flags likely no-shows 24 hours out. Overnight, it flagged 11. She sends a 3-line confirmation text to each of them at 7:20. Last month, this cut their no-show rate from 30% to 18%. At roughly $200 per empty slot, that's about $7,200 of recovered revenue in 1 month. They pay her $1,200 a month. So, $600 plus $400 plus $1,200. $2,200 a month recurring from 3 local businesses. It's 7:23 a.m. She's been working for 9 minutes. She hasn't written any code. She hasn't opened a terminal. And she hasn't done anything a normal non-technical person can't do after 2 or 3 weeks of learning how to write a SKILL.md file in plain English. Now stop. 2,200 isn't 5,200. The other 3,000 comes from something I'll show you at 2 p.m. But it matters that you see the morning first, because the morning is where most people give up. They think it has to be bigger, louder, more heroic. And so they never start the boring, repeatable Tuesday that actually pays. Here's the first takeaway, the piece most people skip. 4 numbers, not strategies, not mindset. 4 numbers. Pause if you need to. Number 1, your target retainer range is $400 to $1,200 per client per month, not $10,000. Above that range, they hesitate. Below it, they don't value it. $400 to $1,200 is the emotional sweet spot of the local service economy. Number 2, you need at least 3 clients. 3 is the floor because anything less is 1 lost client away from 0. 3 is also where it stops feeling like a side thing and starts feeling like a practice. Number 3, pick 1 local vertical, not AI for everyone. 1 vertical you already have access to because you know someone in it. A dentist you actually visit. A real estate agent who lives on your street. A bookkeeper in your building. Warm access beats cold ads every time at this scale. Number 4. Open with the one task offer, not a sales pitch. One task. You tell them you'll automate their appointment reminders for 2 weeks for free, and if it recovers even one no-show, they hire you. Most small businesses have been pitched by 12 agency people this year. You sound like a friend who fixed one small thing. That's the entire wedge. 4 numbers, 4 to 1200, 3 clients minimum. One vertical, one task offer. I'll put them on screen again at the end. If you want the PDF with the 3 archetype templates and the exact first outreach script, comment Tuesday below and I'll DM it to you inside the Agent Skills Academy community. But keep watching. April 2026 is the month this actually works, and I need to show you why. 9th M, back at the kitchen table, second coffee, her daughter's at school. The next 90 minutes aren't about existing clients, they're about her 4th client, who doesn't know they're her 4th client yet. She opens Google Maps. She searches for independent physical therapy clinics within 15 miles. 4 come up. She's been to one as a patient twice. She opens their website. It's the usual small practice site, scheduling phone number, staff photos, a form that goes nowhere. She's looking for one thing only. The manual process she can see from the outside, and she finds it immediately. Their front desk has a Google Voice number with a message that says they'll return your call within 1 business day. 24 hours to return a call in 2026. So she doesn't write a pitch. She writes a text. She tells them she was a patient last year, that she noticed they still run voicemail-based scheduling, and that she can set up a plain English AI phone agent that answers off hours, books routine appointments, and flags complex calls for their staff the next morning. $1,500 to set up, $300 a month after. No contract. If it doesn't reduce their missed callbacks in 30 days, they don't pay the monthly. Send. 9 minutes to write and tune. She sends 3 of these this week. Historically, one says yes, one says they're thinking, one ghosts. That's the cold conversion rate she's operated at for 6 months. 1 new client every 2 weeks of outreach, which is how she went from 1 client in December to 3 clients by March. Slow down for this. She isn't marketing, she isn't running ads, she isn't posting on LinkedIn, she's sending personal text messages to local businesses whose websites visibly contain a manual process. That's the whole customer acquisition strategy. And agencies can't do this. Their overhead requires $5,000 retainers minimum. A sales team can't drive out to a chiropractic office and notice a voicemail script. You can. That's your moat. 10:30 a.m. Back to client 3, the chiropractor. The office manager messages her and asks if the skill can be updated to treat returning patient no-shows differently from new patient ones. She opens the SKILL.md file, and here's where people get scared, so look at your screen for a second and just see it. The SKILL.md file isn't code, it's a text file. It has section headers like when and do and if. It reads like this: when an appointment is new patient and scheduled within 48 hours of first contact, send a reassuring text 24 hours before. When an appointment is returning patient with a prior no-show, send a shorter, more direct text 6 hours before with a one-tap confirm link. 7 sentences. She rewrites 3. Saves, done. Claude Code reruns overnight with the new instructions. She charges the chiropractor a flat $100 change fee for this update because it took her 22 minutes and $100 for 20 minutes. That just saved the practice another $700 in recovered revenue next month. Isn't greedy. It's the correct price. Non-coders underprice. Every single one, including you probably. 2 net PM, where the extra $3,000 comes from. Projects, not retainers, projects. Every 4 to 8 weeks, one of her 3 clients needs something new built. The real estate brokerage wants a market report generator. She charges $2,500. The chiropractor wants an automated intake form. $1,500. She averages 1 project every 4 weeks at about $2,000 each. So that's $1,000 to $1,500 of project income a month on top of the recurring. $2,200 retainer floor plus $1,200 to $1,500 average project income. That's where the $5,200 comes from. The floor is recurring, the ceiling is project, and the project ceiling scales with the retainer relationship. Because the clients who pay you monthly are the clients who call you first when they need something built. The retainer isn't the income. The retainer is the distribution channel for the bigger projects. So, you don't need a team, you don't need a pipeline, you need 3 clients who pay you monthly. Because 3 clients who pay you monthly will pay you project fees on top as long as you're responsive and good. That's the whole business model. It runs on one person, one laptop, one SKILL.md repository, and a kitchen table. 3:30 p.m., she builds. 3 hours of deep work. Claude Code, a single SKILL.md file, a test patient record, she writes, runs, adjusts, runs. By 6 p.m., the first version of the chiropractor's intake form skill is working. This block, 3 to 6 in the afternoon, 3 days a week, is where almost all her actual hard work happens. The rest of the day is maintenance, outreach, and one-line fixes. 9 hours of deep work per week. At $5,200 a month, her effective hourly rate is well above $100. That's the part the agency model hides. Per hour of real work, she bills higher than most consultants. And it's possible because her overhead is zero. Her stack is Claude Code at $20 a month, and her products aren't apps. They're skill files that deploy in minutes. Now, why April 2026 specifically? In 2023, a small business that wanted this kind of automation paid an agency roughly $15,000 for setup plus a $3,000 to $5,000 monthly retainer. That whole tower of cost existed because the work required engineers. In 2026, industry data on SMB AI automation pricing shows the average complete solution for a small business has dropped to around $3,000, an 80% collapse in 2 years. And it didn't happen because AI got cheaper. It happened because AI got writable in English. The same thing a developer used to write in Python in 2023 is now a SKILL.md file a non-coder can write in a weekend. That collapse opened a doorway that didn't exist before. Small local businesses, priced out of the agency market for years, can now afford useful automation. And because they can't hire a developer for $3,000 total and they don't want to talk to an agency salesperson, they're looking for exactly what you are. A neighbor who can do it. A normal person who's responsive. Someone who talks to them like a friend and delivers like a pro. Sit with this for 10 seconds. You're not competing with agencies. You're not competing with developers. You're filling a market that didn't exist in 2024. The chiropractor on your street couldn't afford this a year ago. They can now. And the person they want to hire isn't a stranger in a different time zone. It's you. If you show up first, if this were hype, I'd be telling you to start an agency and scale to 50 grand a month. That isn't the message. The message is smaller, quieter, more durable. 3 clients, 400 to 1200 each, 1 local vertical, 1 task offer. That's the Tuesday. And that Tuesday is available right now in April 2026 because of a price collapse that hasn't yet been recognized by the people who should have filled it first. 7 p.m., back at the kitchen table one more time. She's wrapped the afternoon build. She reviews tomorrow's calendar. 1 demo with the chiropractor at 9 u, 1 scheduled outreach text to a potential 4th client. Then the laptop closes. That's the day. So let's come back to the first thing I said this morning. Someone in Middle America, kitchen table, bad coffee, $5,200 a month, zero code, that isn't someone other than you. That's you. In 4 months. If you choose to start this week, you won't build her Tuesday by watching this video. You'll build it by picking your vertical, writing your first SKILL.md, and sending your first text to a business 2 zip codes away whose website contains a manual process you can automate. Your move this week, 3 things. Pick your vertical where you already know someone. Build 1 small SKILL.md that solves 1 visible task in that vertical and send 1 text message, not a pitch, an offer. You tell them you'll do it for 2 weeks for free, and if it works, they hire you at $400 a month. You're no longer someone who watches AI videos. You're the neighbor down the street who can automate 1 specific thing for a small local business that needs it. And that identity isn't earned by content. It's earned by one text message. Send it this week. If you want the one-page Tuesday playbook with the 4 numbers, the 3 archetype SKILL.md templates, and the exact first outreach script, comment Tuesday below this video and I'll DM it to you inside the Agent Skills Academy community. The community is where people doing this work share their first clients, their pricing, and the mistakes they made so you don't have to. Come in, introduce yourself, post the vertical you're choosing. Someone in there is already in that vertical and will help you. The whole video's been a Tuesday. Your Tuesday starts now. Open a text, send it, I'll see you inside.